Welcome to the Spiritual Warrior Coach podcast. This is a sacred space where healing begins, intuition awakens, and your spirit remembers its power. I'm your host, Barbara Savin, author, energy healing specialist, hypnotherapist, and spiritual life coach. For over 35 years, I've guided thousands of souls to protect their energy, trust their intuition, and step into their most empowered self. I invite you to join me for heartfelt conversations, spiritual insights, and gentle practices that nurture your soul and inspire your daily life. And together, we'll explore how to rise above negativity, trust your inner wisdom, and embrace the truth of who you are, a divine, radiant being of love and strength. So take a breath, settle in, and know you are not alone on this journey. You are loved. You are supported, and you are more powerful than you've ever been told. So let's rise together and join me now as your host. So thank you for joining me today, and welcome to the Spiritual Warrior Coach podcast. I'm your host, Barbara Savin, here to help you reclaim your power, your energy, and your authentic self. And today, it is such a blessing to share the sacred space with my very special guest. And her light, her wisdom, and her heartfelt guidance are gifts to all of us. So welcome, Debbie, to our show today.
Hi, how are you guys?
Everybody's good.
Yeah,
Everything's working today.
everything's checking in. No technical difficulties.
Uh-huh. So before we get, onto our conversation, let me introduce you to my listeners and share a little bit about your journey.
Okay, thank you.
Debbie Arth is a certified professional hypnotist and certified subconscious block removal specialist based in Washington State. And for over 21 years, she has dedicated her life to supporting developmentally disabled adults, helping them live with greater independence, confidence, and joy. And through her practice, Empowered Minds Hypnosis, Debbie combines her deep compassion with powerful subconscious healing techniques to help clients break free from emotional blocks, limiting beliefs, and self-sabotaging patterns. And she conducts her sessions over Zoom, allowing her to reach and empower individuals around the world from the comfort of their own homes. And beyond her professional work, Debbie is a proud mother to a 30-year-old son and devoted fur baby mama to her beautiful 8-year-old German Shepherd, Melanie. And Debbie's mission is to help others rediscover their inner strength, align with their true potential, and live life with purpose and clarity. Whew, so welcome.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's a lot, and every now and then I get tongue-tied.
That's okay.
And no matter how many times I rehearse it, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's more natural that way.
I know. So let me ask you, how did you actually get into hypnosis?
It was kind of an interesting journey. I came to hypnosis via the network marketing profession. I was in a business that it was called Secret Direct, and they dealt with all the products that were from the Dead Sea. Uh, so there was a particular lady that was involved in that same business that I was, and she was on a sales call, and it was like she was blowing out the sales numbers. And they're like, "What are you doing?" It's like almost like you're hypnotizing people. She's like, "Well, that possibly might be what I'm doing." So she had offered a course that was network marketing, hypnosis for like network marketing type of thing. And so I signed up for that class, and basically it, just gave me like different phrases or different approaches or things like that to tap into someone's subconscious mind. And not to like try to brainwash them into buying products or anything like that, but just to try to be more productive with your communication with people. And then from that, that led to her Hypnosis 101 course. And then that from there, it was her 201, 301 course. And then that's where I got my certification. And I'm certified through the foundation as ICBCF, don't BCH, excuse me. And that's through Dr. Richard Nongard, and that's where I have my main certification, and then I received my subconscious block removal certification through my original people, which this Love Project International is where I got the rest of my training.
Wow, so you've done a lot then.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me ask you, once you began, got into this hypnosis, were there any breakthroughs that you've actually witnessed for yourself?
Um, I think, yeah, I've had some like for my clients, but I've also my biggest breakthrough is for myself. And I was unfortunately involved in a domestic violence relationship. I never really dealt with it. I just kind of would push it all to the back of my mind. And I finally decided one day that through my mentor that I needed some help because I couldn't do it anymore. I had really bad PTSD. I had like that huge like startle response, like anything. I was so, just jumpy and thrown back. And she really helped me to be able to get over that. It's never the idea to remove those memories from your subconscious, but basically to kind of neutralize your response that you have.
Mhm.
And she was really able to help me with that and to where I can get through to where I could talk about my husband, my ex-husband, and not have that pit in my stomach or that fear that he was going to still be coming after me or anything like that. And I've been makes me to where I was sleeping better. I don't have the startle response at all anymore. And it's almost like uh, I'm to a point to where it made me to where I could thank and appreciate my husband for the part he played in my life because he made me a stronger person and he made me realize, what I was never going to put up with again. And it was very freeing to have that experience. I mean, it literally was to the point where when that breakthrough hit, it just put me like in tears. And it was kind of like that ugly cry to where you're snot and then yeah. And so it was very, very powerful.
Well, the beauty of is that you probably finally respected yourself and said enough is enough.
Oh yes. Yeah. I definitely got my power back.
And that's what a lot of women and men, I mean, I have men that come to me, women abuse men also. So it's not,
Yes.
just the other way around. But yeah, it's important that we reclaim our energy, our power, and who we are. And by reprogramming, again, your subconscious mind, you're able to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
So so you're not married to him anymore. You left him.
No, I've been divorced since 2010.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were in the relationship we would have been married almost, I think, 20 years
Oh, wow.
at that point. So yeah. And because my son's 30 now, and when I divorced my ex-husband, he was 16.
Wow, it's a long time.
Yeah. And then to not deal with it for so many years. And then, when you're in a domestic violence relationship, you're so used to being controlled or being, with a narcissistic type of person.
Manipulated.
I didn't know any better, honestly.
Well, that's it, and that's what we 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 need to get the courage to do something about it, or stay in it. And unfortunately, if you stay in it, there could be a lot more harm.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, good for you. Good for you.
Thank you.
Good
Thank
for
you.
you. I'm so happy to hear things like that. My daughter was also in an abusive relationship and left him. She walked away. My grandson was at the time a year and a half, and my granddaughter was 3. They're now 23 and 21. But yeah, she got the courage to walk away
Yeah. And
because
you go ahead.
no, no, I was just going to say, because you don't know what they're capable of doing. Yeah, it may just be mentally and emotionally abusive, but then at one point, when it can become physical.
Yeah, and I was fortunate Yes and no, and that it was never physical, but I think at that point I would almost rather have him break every bone in my body than to put me through the mental torment that he put me through.
Oh, yeah. And
So yeah.
that's a tough one, but good for you. So you've made your own life now, and you're a hypnotist, and I know that you dedicated over 2 decades to working with, developmentally disabled adults.
Yes.
How has I guess how has that experience influenced your approach to hypnosis and also to the subconscious healing?
I think for me, it's made me to where I have a better appreciation. I've definitely developed more empathy for people. I've developed more patience. They've taught me more than I've ever been able to teach them. And the good thing about them is that the most genuine people you'll ever meet, they either like you or they don't. Um, and they don't put on an act, they don't put on any type of thing. They just kind of accept you. And I think it almost like gives you permission to be yourself too, to where it's okay. I mean, you don't have to put on this front for people. You don't have to be like, oh, well, look at me doing all this and try to get this approval and I think that I use with them because 'cause it's difficult dealing with those people. I'll have to be honest. I mean, there's times I've been on very aggressive units where I've been physically hurt. There's been times where um, we've had like the clients almost kill another client by just being physically aggressive.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's definitely been a learning experience, but there is a lot of burnout to it that also. But I and then with me using the hypnosis, eventually that's going to be my main platform to where I get out of doing what I'm doing.
Right. So you're still there. Do you work with them with hypnosis or
No.
oh, okay.
Usually with that population, it's a little harder to use hypnosis with
I
them
thought, yeah.
because since your subconscious mind thinks in like images,
Hmm.
a lot of times their minds aren't kind of mapped the same way. So they may not see things the way like you see it, type of thing.
Right. So what type of work do you do with them?
What we do is basically we help them with their daily living, like we shower them. We're a 24 7 facility, and so we have like medical staffing and everything there. We also have so we have nurses that comes in, they'll give them their medications. We give them I work the day shift, so we give them their feed them their breakfast, feed them their lunch. We take them out to the community to go like shopping, to if they want to go to like say Walmart or they want to go and go to a baseball game or something like that, then we take them there. We're basically support staff, and we try to rehabilitate them to get to a point to where they can live not directly out on their own, but they'd always have somebody there. And then some of them have like little jobs that they might do and things like that. So that's basically what I do there.
Wow, it takes a special person. I commend you, believe me.
Thank you.
It's a special person to do that. Yeah, because every now and then here in Target where I live, I see a few people coming in with a group of disabled individuals, and it's not easy. It's hard. You
Oh
have to have the
yeah.
patience and the understanding and and also it's a safety factor with some of them, as you mentioned, could do get physical, but yeah, it's a lot of hard work. Good for you.
And you have to
Yeah.
really put
Mhm.
yourself like if you go out in public, you gotta kind of understand the fact you're gonna be embarrassed because they're gonna do something. They may go up to you, may be shopping in Target, and they may come up to you and lick you, or they may come up to you and touch your hair or do but they just don't know any different, so.
Well, that's it's funny that you mentioned that because we went to a cafe here and someone came in with about three or four. disabled individuals. And at the time, I was normally I don't have fries, but that day I wanted fries, so I had a hamburger and fries. And two of them came over to me and asked me if they can have some fries. And yes, of course, yeah, yeah, I shouldn't be
Yeah.
having them anyway, so could
Yeah,
take
that's
them.
less I have to have.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but some people may have looked and said, "Well, no," but I understood, and I said, "Of course you can." So, and it's important for other people to have respect for them also and see that, they do have challenges, and
Yeah,
we should be grateful that we are the way we are.
and to treat them like human beings. I mean, because
Yes.
realistically, any one of us are like what head injury away from being in that situation.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's for sure. But all right, I want to ask you something. So as a certified subconscious block removal specialist,
That's a
what
big
kind
one,
of
isn't
that could be a mouthful for someone from Brooklyn.
it? You got it. You dealt it with. Got it good. Yep.
I know, trying not to get tongue-tied today. So what kind of blocks do you find, the average person may struggle with most, and how do you help them release those patterns?
I think the most common thing that I see are self-sabotaging patterns, whether it be to up level in your career, or say someone does like is a golfer and they're trying to improve their game, or and then maybe in that, and then have like a lot of negative talk, a lot of not feeling like you're worthy type of thing. Those are the two that I see the most. And the beauty behind doing this block removal is it's not like traditional therapy. Like if you were to come to me, you don't have to have your it all lined out and think, okay, this is what my block is. Your subconscious knows what your blocks are. So my job is to build up that rapport with the people for one, and then when I am in the session, then I'm communicating with their subconscious mind and basically giving their subconscious mind permission to release whatever it is that's holding them back, because your subconscious job is to protect you.
Mhm.
So a lot of times, like my job as a hypnotist, which you know this, you're a fellow hypnotist, is to basically reprogram and rewire your subconscious mind and to eliminate like the old patterns that you were doing before that no longer serve you, because it's kind of like your subconscious is like a little Pac-Man. It just keeps going over the same little
Keeps on going.
program,
Mhm.
just chop 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 chop, and so it just you gotta break that pattern. So
So it's also, besides self-sabotage, have you found a lot of people with like imposter syndrome?
yes,
That's a
yes.
big one I've noticed lately.
Yeah, and it just seems kind of like, oh, well, I want to do this and this, but who am I to think that I can do to do that or to think
Hmm.
that way? Yes. And I
Yes.
don't know if it's because the way just society is now, where there's so many different kind of just kind of weird views on how you should be.
I think social media is playing a big thing, and they all look at it and think, well, gee, I'm not like that person. But who knows, is that real or is it not real or is it AI generated?
Oh, I know. That's scary. That
It's very,
AI.
I've noticed a lot of things are AI generated, and I says, this is interesting.
Yes.
So yeah, we have to be more, um, well, I would say, put the social media down, put it away, put it aside, and just be in the moment so that you can, appreciate everything that is just around you, and at this time.
In your work, what have you found to be, like that you've helped the people the most with?
Well, I do more energy healing than anything else, and a lot of it is ancestry removal. A lot of it is, childhood trauma.
Hmm.
And I've noticed it's more childhood trauma than anything else. And parents telling that, you're too heavy, you're too this, you're not this, you can't do this, you're not good enough. And that's what's happened. And the whole thing is to eliminate that energy associated with that. And then many a times I will do hypnosis, telling them, yeah, I am worthy, I am loving, I am capable.
Yes.
So yeah, it's reprogramming that subconscious mind so that they know they have the ability to be able to do anything that they set their minds to do once they make that choice to change it.
Exactly. And when I was having my hypnosis sessions, I was able to meet my inner child for the first time. And that, I mean, it gives me chills even thinking about it now, because that, I remember that experience was so powerful to me and it moved me so much. And my inner child was kind of like, "Hey, where have you been? I've been waiting for you." Like little Deb's like, "Hey, still here." So, and that to me, and I've always been fascinated with the mind and things of that nature and how it works. And so I want for people to have those type of experiences, those aha moments where it's
Mhm.
just like there's no better feeling than when someone like opens up their eyes from being in like a hypnotic trance and you can see something just clicked or shifted
Things
for them.
happen. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I know even like for myself, I had a lot of healing, for me to do on me. Plus, I needed to just hug me and know that
Yes,
I'm okay and I'm safe and everything is fine. So I think that has a lot to do with it also. With many people, they need to feel that safety and know that they are okay, no matter what the situation is.
exactly. Yeah. And that it is so, important. And what you may think may not be like a little, like it may be seem like a little thing to you. To them, it's not. I
It's
mean,
not.
it's a huge deal for a lot of people.
Oh yeah, that I know. Believe me, I work with that every day, and not just that. It's also, people losing people. The husbands dying, mothers dying,
Hmm.
and it's important to get over it, not stay in that energy because then you'll never be able to move forward.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But let me ask you, since you work with clients over Zoom, how do you actually create like a safe, connected, and empowering environment, virtually, for a deep subconscious work?
I think a lot of it begins with the whole idea of building up a rapport with the person. So usually what I'll do is I will like meet people however I meet them, like over, Facebook or other social media formats. And then I will have like an inquiry meeting with the people to see how they would respond to being hypnotized because everybody can be hypnotized. It's just
Mhm.
some people more so than others if they're more willing to pay attention to what you're trying to tell them. And then from there, I build up that rapport with them. And then when we get to the point where we actually do sessions, I spend probably 30 minutes going over the myths and misconceptions about hypnosis. I go over what they may experience when they're having hypnosis done. um, we'll do the session and then I give it time to like debrief afterwards. And then I'm constantly in contact with them, within the next couple of days.
Mhm.
And I think if you build that rapport, I think that that's just so important because when you're hypnotized and you're at your place of, you have to feel like you're safe, like in that space and that you're holding space for those people. And I think like doing it virtually, you almost get a better result because you don't have the stress of going to an office, waiting in line.
Mhm.
You can be in the comfort of your own home. You don't have any of those stressors. So that's how I kind of work around it.
Yeah, and I've noticed it actually works better over Zoom sometimes because, yeah, that they're in their own, bed or on their couch. They feel like they're more in control, which
Yes.
is important. Because it's funny, many years ago, here's a funny story. I worked at the Four Seasons Hotel, and one client, this gentleman, made it, booked a session with me for his wife.
Oh, okay.
And his wife comes in, and mind you, they were from Iran.
Oh, okay.
And she comes in, and I said to her, I explained that everything what we're doing because he asked me to hypnotize her to stop shopping. So
Oh, there you go.
to
This is where
stop
I'm spending my
shopping,
money.
to stop spending money. And I mentioned it to her, and she started crying. And she's, I don't want this. I don't want you mind control. And it got so out of control, out of hand that I ended up not doing it. And he got so angry at me because he said to me, he wanted me to control her mind and tell her to stop shopping and spending money. And I said to him, you know what? I'm not controlling anybody's mind. And
Yeah,
it's up to you to and her to figure this out.
exactly.
But she was panic. She was so fearful of me when she walked in. And I felt so bad. And I said, well, I'm a kind soul. I'm not here to hurt you in any way.
Exactly.
But he wants you to stop shopping. And yeah, it didn't work out too well. But isn't that why? So you can't force your will onto somebody else
Oh no, and you can't hypnotize somebody to do anything that they wouldn't
that
normally
they
do,
wouldn't do. Right, exactly.
So to me, I welcome the idea when someone challenges me and they're like, "Oh, well, that's just voodoo, or that's witchcraft, or that's blah blah blah," and that's an open forum for me to be like, "Let me educate you on what it really is." So, and people think it's like this new age woo-woo thing, and it's been around over
Yeah,
3,000 years,
1,000 years.
so
And it works.
yes,
It
and
truly works.
it works with such little effort, really. I mean, the people have to do the work because obviously you can't do it for them.
Hmm.
But it's not like traditional talk therapy where you're spending thousands of dollars and hour after this therapy, and it never really works because they don't get into that part of your mind. It's all in the conscious level.
Well, that's it. It's always repeat, 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 and nothing changes.
Yes,
And you're stuck in that heavy energy that you want to get rid of, but you're not able to.
yes.
And that's why, energy healing and hypnotherapy, work so well together. And
How did you get into being an into the
oh, my
energy healing?
grandma was a healer. So
Oh,
that's,
okay.
I was born and raised in Coney Island, Brooklyn, and my grandma was a healer. And as a child, I always had those abilities to hear, see. I had tons of imaginary friends, but they weren't imaginary friends. I mean, they were angelic beings and pets, and
Hmm.
so my grandma would help me in that scenario. My mom, on the other hand, would tell me it was my imagination and stop being so crazy. People are going to think you're crazy. I mean, I had two different, I was in constant conflict, you could say,
Oh,
with
sure.
with myself. And when I finally decided, no, they are real. It's not my imagination. This is something that, was given or passed on. My grandma was from Turkey, so her mother was a healer. So my great
Okay.
grandma was a healer. So it definitely, passed down. But unfortunately, my mom, who had the ability, also was fearful of it and thought it was again, voodoo, witchcraft,
Sure.
and just stop it. So that's how I got into the, energy healing aspect. I always had it with me. It was just a matter of me getting that courage to
Sure.
come out,
Sure.
and do it. And with hypnosis, that helped me. But also with hypnosis, it helped me with my chronic fatigue and my migraines.
Oh,
So,
yes.
and that's how I sorted out hypnosis at the very beginning.
Well, and that's the beauty of hypnosis. You could
Mhm.
go in there to say you want to work on smoking cessation, you don't want to smoke anymore. But there's so many other like secondary benefits that you're going to get from, it lowers your blood pressure, you sleep better, there's so many other things that come with it that you're not even, it's pain management, like you're not even trying to work on that with somebody, and it just seems to come through.
Oh, it truly works. And even like when I go to my cardiologist, I'll sit in the office, and I'll actually hypnotize myself.
Hmm.
And my pressure is normalizing. I can actually, reprogram my mind instead of being
Sure.
all like up and a little nervous that you're here in the doctor's office. I tell myself, Barbara, just relax. Everything is fine. Calm down, just breathe. And then I go in and my pressure was 120 over 75. And she says to me, well, for your age, it's pretty good. Well, besides me taking care of me, my mind is what controls my
Oh yeah.
body. And people
Yeah.
don't understand that the mind is a very powerful tool.
And the mind doesn't know the difference between real and imaginary.
Hmm.
Really, it's going to work on whatever you tell it to work on.
Well, that's it. And so, yeah, for myself, I just let myself relax and I breathe. And I think I'm okay. We're good. Take the pressure.
Yeah,
You'll see
exactly.
it's good.
I don't need these stinking pills
I don't
taking my
need it. I
pressure.
know. Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, the mind is a very powerful, without a doubt. And as you mentioned, it can either, destroy us or make us great.
Yes, absolutely.
And we all have that ability within us. It's just a matter of tapping into it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think like what you're saying, like with your like people like your mom, they were afraid of
Mhm.
that. And everybody does have that. It's just whether you're willing to accept it and really run with it and see what you can do, you know?
Well, that's it. Yeah. So let me ask you, I see behind you, it says Empowered Minds Hypnosis. I love that behind you.
Oh, thank you.
How does your personal philosophy shape the work that you do with your clients? I love your thing, Empowered Minds. It's so real. It's so there.
My philosophy, really, I just have always wanted something more for like myself and something, on a deeper level. And so I I went with the hypnosis because that was the first thing that I really aligned with. And I thought, okay, this is what I need to be doing. And so I try to have the like a really solid character, and I try to be a person that people can trust, that people can really just, feel safe that they can reach out to and that they know that I have their best interest in their mind, and so that's and I think being able to help people get to that point for
That
themselves.
point, yeah, which is so important.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, why we chose to be of service.
Yes.
It's not about the money. Of course, we need the money to survive, but it's about us helping others to be the best that they can be.
Yes. Because I think everybody deserves that in their life, and so many people are so beat down and so just like the society, it's really scary and kind of very negative these days. And I think if people maybe feel like there's hope or that there's somebody that can help them get to a better place, I think that's what's important.
Well, that's it. And yeah, everything is so negative. And I even tell many of my clients, just turn off the news. Enjoy your life the way you want to enjoy it. All this outside, it's just outside interference with what you should be doing for yourself.
Exactly. And I think if you are a person who starts off your day with the news, you're starting it off on the most negative path you can have for your entire day, you
Oh,
know?
without a doubt. I know when I wake up in the morning, I always start with gratitude.
Yes.
I,
Yes.
I always say, God, I say God. I use the word God, and I say, God, thank you, for my eyes are open. That's a good sign because
That's an
my eyes
important
are
thing.
open.
Yeah.
You know, that's good. And then I thank, for my cup of coffee, and then I sit on the couch, and I just thank for, give gratitude for everything that I have, and then I go through my children, my grandchildren, my clients, my neighbors. I put them all in protective light and ask for them to be healthy and safe. So yeah, and it makes me feel good because I've started my day on a really positive note.
Yes.
Instead
Yes.
of looking, I'm not a television watcher. I do not watch TV. My husband does, but I don't.
I have
Um,
a TV in my house, but I rarely turn it on.
Yeah.
I have it there, I think, I don't know, just because it needs to take up a space in my front room, because I don't
Exactly.
know what else to put there because it's right by a window, so
Well, it's funny because the we have two televisions, one in the living room, one in the bedroom, which we no one really we've never really used it. The only time I do use it, believe it or not, is when I'm ironing, and I'll put on either Family Feud or Deal or No Deal.
oh,
So
okay, yeah.
yeah, and that's a fun. It's fun, and I watch it for a few minutes and then I turn it off. But
Yes.
yeah, just to, have something, and it's funny because I when he asks those questions, I see if I how I can answer them. So, but I think we should watch, if you do watch television, it should be something light, musical or something that enriches your mind,
Yes,
not,
absolutely.
makes it very fearful and crazy making.
And then one couple things I never watched. I mean, and this is like, like that self-doubt thing, like Jeopardy and the Wheel of Fortune. How do these people know this stuff? And why do you need to know this stuff? I don't have space in my head for all this.
No, some
Yeah.
people just do.
I don't care who the Roman emperor was in
Yeah.
AD 400. I really don't.
I guess some people just have it's like their computer, the memory bank is pretty pretty there.
Like a terabyte up there
Yeah,
instead of
at least it's
gigabytes.
I know. So in your work has hypnosis helped you?
It has helped me personally.
Okay.
And I think it's definitely once you kind of get exposed to it and your mind stretches to that certain, it'll never, I don't think it ever goes back to the point where it was before. And I think, and I've always had people, and I don't know if you have this too, where you always like have people that will just come up to you and just start talking to you and start kind of telling you their whole life story, and you don't really ask them where it's like that safe space or something. So I've always had that. So I think with the hypnosis, that was at least finally, so I knew what to do with that energy that I would get from people.
For people. Yeah, I know many times I could be at the store and someone will just start talking. My husband says to me, "Do you know them?" I said, "No, no, I don't know them."
I do now.
Yeah, and now
That's
we
Rita.
do,
She's
but
buying some oranges.
yeah, it's okay. I think what it does, it makes us as beings more open, and more understanding to those around us.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I know for myself, there's definitely more compassion, more, understanding, a different feeling, you could say.
And I think for me, what shifted too, once I got rid of all that negative energy from the experience with my ex-husband, I could almost feel not like it radiating out to other people, but it seems like people, because like I said, I've always been had people attracted to me, but it seems like it's at a different level, like a deeper connections with people.
Well, yeah,
That's what I've noticed.
well, that's it. When we get rid of that heaviness, I always say, you can get up in the morning and feel absolutely incredible, but by the end of the day, sometimes you don't feel as good, and we pick up energies, from people around us. Some is good energies, and some is not so good energies. So,
Absolutely.
when we're around that on a daily basis, through a marriage, that can definitely affect us without, there's no doubt it can.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think like one thing that has always been kind of hard for me is like being around like big crowds and that because I am empathic and I can pick up a lot of that. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I need that big protection bubble or something going because I want that energy or I'm very particular on people if I let them hug me or anything because I have to be ready to receive that energy. It's yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Before I step out in the morning, just like we put on our clothes, I tell everyone step into that, protective light, with the intention that, love, understanding, all that goodness comes in and out, but anything heavy stays away from us so that we're able to do what we need to do for ourselves and for others.
And I do that with the my hypnosis practice too, like in between clients, like say, because sometimes, as being a hypnotist, you sometimes hear some heavy stuff that, and a lot of time I'll put like clean the energy and try to have that because it's not fair to bring you whatever baggage or whatever to the other person because it's not their issues. So I definitely try to clear out my space.
Yeah, I do that after everyone, and I sit for a few moments and clear me.
Yes.
Even though I can energetically feel nothing has attached to me, I still ask for clearing because
Yes.
maybe it's hiding somewhere, but
Do
you
you
just
find
never
that
know.
have you had anything like that happen before? Like with the work that you do, have you had people like attached to you or things that weren't quite right?
I've been doing this for 40 years now, and only one time did all of a sudden I can feel something attempt to attach to me. But then I started saying my prayers and it cleared. It cleared immediately.
Oh, that's good
So
because
yeah, so prayers work.
sometimes, yeah, because sometimes there's some stuff that I don't think
Heavy.
anybody should experience.
It's heavy. So yeah, and it may not be from that person. I remember when I back east when I volunteered at I think it was Saint Vincent's Hospital. One of the clients was the director of the psychiatric ward,
Oh,
and
yeah,
boy, that was very heavy. So and I can feel it attempting to come at me, but mm-mm. It's once I start saying my prayers, it
hmm
it definitely and the thing is to truly trust and feel and believe that when you're saying a prayer or asking for protection, nothing's going to come at you.
yes,
The thing is to truly, without it, you can't have a doubt. If there's a doubt, then guess what? Something's going to attach.
yes.
So
Yeah,
they
well, how
can't.
fortunate for you to not to be doing that as long as you have and only had that one
Just
experience.
the one experience, and I remember my grandma always telling me, Babasita, never doubt, always trust, that God, and the angels, your higher self is always there to protect you.
Sure.
And, to this day, I have no doubt, and that's how I'm able to do my work, hypnotically and energetically.
And so you said you were from New York originally.
Coney Island.
Yeah, and so
Mhm.
you were clearly, living there when the towers, with all
Yes,
that.
my husband and son were both caught up in the towers. My son worked across the street at oh God, I can't remember the building now. But he actually saw the planes hit.
Oh, geez.
And my husband worked, he was his building was attached. It was a smaller trade center building. It was attached to the bigger building. So usually every morning at 8:30, because they started work at 6 o'clock in the morning. Um, and at 8:30, they would meet and go for breakfast in the World Trade Center. And lo and behold, that day, now I didn't know, I thought they were having breakfast when these planes hit. So I was like completely panicked. But that day, for whatever reason, they did not have breakfast there. So they came home. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and um, it was a sad day. So yeah, and I didn't know that they were even alive for quite many hours.
Oh,
And
geez.
all I could do was just pray and trust that whatever this is completely out of my control. So whatever it was supposed to be. But mine came home, and I was very grateful. So I because of the gratitude, I actually did so much volunteer work. I did a lot of healing work at the where they were bringing the trade in the Staten Island side. So I think it was the Salvation Army that put up tents and stuff. So because I already worked at a medical facility at the time.
hmm
She was able to get us in to do healing for
Oh,
them.
that yeah.
So
And
I
that
did that
must
for. quite a while.
And that must still have such a huge impact with you. I mean, I can't even imagine what that must
Y-
have been like.
Well, it was that was the first time I'd have to say in my life that I really had to just let go and trust whatever the outcome was, I had no control over it.
Absolutely.
And you just have to let it go. And at the time I had a my Sammy, my dog, would come over to me and just lay his head on my, lap because he knew I was crying. I mean,
Oh,
I
no.
was hysterical. But then I said, God, and then I heard God tell me, just put your hands, like this and just do your healing. And that whatever will be is going to be, it's out of your control. And I trusted. And my two came home. My daughter, who lived in California at the time, they both, my son and daughter, lost a lot of their friends that were in that
Wow.
trade center, and I lost a lot of my clients that were firemen that tried to save people. So yeah, that
Sure.
was a tough time. So every 9/11, I do not work. I That's my day to, pray for everybody and to be grateful and. Uh, I have not worked on 9/11 since then,
Well,
nor will I. So
what a
yeah,
blessing you are to people. I mean, that's amazing. And I think that that's one of the highest compliments or the biggest when people pray for you and you don't even know they're praying for you. I
well,
I I
yeah.
think that's like so powerful.
Oh, to this day, I pray every morning, and I think it's something. As long as we're alive and we're breathing, we should send that love and light and healing to everybody, good or bad. It does not matter.
Yes.
It's the intention, so that even if they are, bad, hopefully it'll shift, bring more light to them.
Yeah, and I think it's not our job to pick and choose and to judge.
No,
And like you said, put it out to everybody, and who's supposed to have receive it will, you know?
exactly. Well, this was a great conversation. I got
Yeah.
into a little bit about me, but thank
Well,
you for the question.
it's not
Um,
all about me here.
I know. So, where can my listeners get a hold of you?
Uh, through my website, empoweredmindshypnosis.com. And then I have a phone number, which is I'm having to look at because I don't ever call it. It's 253-470-4145.
And you're also on Facebook. That's where I found you.
I'm on Facebook under
That's
Debbie Arth, DebbieArth.
okay. And it's empoweredmindshypnosis.com.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much for today. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us and your love. I'm deeply grateful for the insights and inspiration that you brought, you know, to this sacred space.
Yes.
And
Thank you. I
uh,
appreciate your time and your energy today.
well, believe me, it's my pleasure. And also, thank you to my beautiful listeners for opening your hearts and joining us on this journey. And just, remember that you are powerful, you are loved, your light matters more than you'll ever know. And until next time, just keep shining, keep believing in yourself, and know that you are never alone on this path. So, have a beautiful week filled with love and with light. Love, Barbara.